Well, Happy New Year and good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. It's 4th of January, 8:02:40 Central Time, America. It's 22:02 Southeast Asia. And I don't know what time it is in London. Let me guess here. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon in London. So, first day of the trading season, trading year, I should say. We got the yes NQ. This is the NQ20 period, 5 minute, and the ES5 cumulative delta relative volume. Not much, not much of a guessing game. What's been going on here? Hopefully everything is working properly here. I think I had my mute button goofy or backwards or something on the microphone for the early session at Asia London crossover. We'll see how we are today, or I should say this evening. We've got settlement at 12,885.50. It's way down here. VWAP at 09. And there's our settlement, just about normal. Value area high, POC. Inventory is long overnight. And as usual, they're bumping up against the highs. And I would absolutely be surprised if they don't take a run at 13,000. Would surprise me for sure. So, we'll see what we got here. I hope everybody had a great weekend, holiday, Happy New Year, safe, all that stuff. It was wonderful over here. I typically do not like to hold into the open, but they are also quite frequently, these London folks will run down to VWAP, and they're right at the bottom of this large volume node here. However, they've tested down 2 or 3 times and haven't gotten below it, so string. What a string. What I'm looking for over here is VWAP, which is a same purple color, and it should be right at the same spot, but I don't see it down here. I believe it's because it's such a low volume that it's not registering, and that's puzzling me. That's what I'm looking for. Anyway, you can see that there's been a chop zone here the last several hours. Well, let's see. The mic seems to be testing out here okay. Just see some. Okay. I do have a visual indicator down there on the OBS window I didn't look at earlier. Now we could get a run to VWAP here if the ES can break also. But right now it's a little dodgy for me. And the waiting game. Not really any movement right now. Still low volume. Coming back up a little bit though. Trying to break down through there. Sellers are in charge. I have a sneaky feeling this is just a head fake. They're going to charge them, bring it down, bring it back up, back and forth around VWAP, I'm sorry, around POC. And this volume node. It's all they've been doing for the last several hours here since, well, London Open. Doop, 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 you know. I'm hoping I've got this mic figured out. I think I will buy a different mic, I believe. This Blue Voice with the LG Pro X seems to be spotty when I listen to the streams back and forth. It doesn't seem to have consistent quality. And it's just a boom mic, so I don't see why there should be any difference in volume or modulation, but there seems to be. Oh, you go. Ooh, there goes the ES. Now we could have a short. Uh, 15 minutes. I don't think so. I don't think that looks sustainable. Don't have the conviction there that they need. It's just too thin down there. If you follow the concept of the market auction, there was generally they talk about this B shape as short covering. You would think you could travel through to this next volume area here, area of consolidation and support. But it just doesn't look like it, even though the ES is breaking down and headed for the VWAP. Not getting anywhere on the ES or on the NQ here. It can't break below these lows. Might change in the next couple of minutes. Volume looks thickening up a bit, which is good to see. short would have been disappointing. 10 minutes till the open. 10 minutes and 30 some seconds. So it's certainly good to hear that the virus vaccines are getting disseminated and utilized. Maybe they'll get a handle on this. Some people in the health realms are saying that we ought to be looking at some sort of normalcy by spring. That would be truly a great thing. A lot of poor people, they estimate 400,000 Americans will be dead by the end of the month, close to the end of the month. Pretty incredible how some people just still don't believe it's real. I find that kind of hard to understand. But fortunately, we have not been touched by it directly, our family. I know 3 or 4 people who have contracted the virus, and fortunately, we're all fine. But sure seems to be a lot of unlucky souls there that have not fared so well. Hard for me to imagine 400,000 Americans dying in space of what, 7, 8 months? No, less than a year, because it was in 2020, so pretty amazing. Here in Asia, where we are living and I'm based now, can't travel back to the States, to Houston, where we also have an office that I work from. But they've been wearing masks and, observing common sense practices, tracking. You scan with your cell phone and an app whenever you go into a store or taxi cab or whatever. And I think the highest they had was 8 or 9 deaths in a day, and maybe 2,000 people at the height coming down with the virus in one day. So it's proof that, and it's a congested metropolitan area. So, those precautionary measures definitely do have a positive effect, as near as I can tell. And knock wood, the vaccine will have a positive impact, and some of those poor folks over there can get back to work and get back to normal life. Fortunately, trading is a fantastic livelihood, occupation, business endeavor. Pick your word for any type of a situation like this, and for whether there's a virus or not. It's fantastic. But when you're working from home or a closed-in office and don't need to be out and about and can still function and work and do everything like normal, it's one more plus on the long list of positive characteristics or attributes for trading. So we're trading, this is step 2 of the $50,000 combine. If you don't know what that is, you look at the bottom, just down below the video, you can see the links. There's a link to the TopStep. There's a link to CME contract expirations, so you can be sure you are trading the current contract. The simplest way to tell is your volume needs to be the highest. They roll 1 month, 3 months, depending on the product you're trading. also have a link there for Jigsaw Trading, which is the software. This is the Dome. I bought the Jigsaw tools many years ago, and I like the Dome a lot. This is customized colors and stuff, but it's the basic functionality. Jigsaw Dome's been this way for one of the first tools, I believe, that Peter brought out. This is the Jigsaw Trader, and it is it connects directly to the data feed from CME and Tradovate, so that it's independent but on the same data feed. So there's no, it's not for example, it's not an indicator tied to the Tradovate platform. You'll notice when we have the open in another 5 minutes here, instantly the Jigsaw Dome will activate and not miss a beat. Very, 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 very frequently, the Tradovate is just a little bit behind. So it's good to have some correlation there and a measure of what's going on with two separate programs or platforms tied into the same deal. I'm on a fiber optic Cat9, hardwired to the router here. Dedicated trading computer. I've got about a 300 Mbps upload, so it's pretty good speed. We route through Singapore and then across. We're about 150 miles north of Singapore. We're in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, which is just up the road from Singapore and down the road a piece from Bangkok, if you know where that is. Beautiful part of the world. A lot of worse places you could get locked down, I promise you. So, there's obviously no question about what's been happening. This is the daily chart. Absolutely just one of those buy the dips kind of deal. You couldn't go too wrong. We're just, hop, skip, and a jump to 13,000. So I would be just pretty amazed if we don't get there, especially in light of the fact that the overnight has taken again a new high, and the regular trading hours, folks, don't usually let that stand. There's a statistic out there, about 90% of 95, 96% of the time, either the overnight high or the overnight low are taken out by the regular trading hours. Also, I don't have a statistic on it, but it's pretty well known and widely accepted, I believe, that generally the regular trading hours traders don't let a Globex high record stand for very long or low. And in this case, we're so close to 13,000, and we're only 30, 40 points off the high. I would imagine that at some point in today's trading, they'll take out both this high and shoot for 13,000. But never know. A lot of people calling for correction now. ES is coming down to the VWAP. NQ is not able to do that. And we should be open in 2 minutes. Less. This will be a fairly short stream. Unfortunately, I have a meeting on Teams meeting at 11. colleagues in Houston and London that I can't avoid. So this will be a short stream, unfortunately. Yeah, confirm at 11. So we've got about 10 seconds. Now, watch the dome and watch the chart and see which one you think reacts quicker to at the opening. There we go. Ooh, that was a tight one. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. That was quick. Looked pretty simultaneous to me. So far our opening swing isn't really in yet. There we go. There we are. So there we have $240. One trade, 2 contracts, and we're down to VWAP. That was a little premature on my part, but a little gun shy. So we 13 seconds on that trade. Should have. I'm real curious to see if the volatility and market action returns now that the election drama is hopefully going to be over soon and the pandemic is going to at least have a light at the end of the tunnel with the virus vaccinations and the vaccine. Be interesting to see if we get that volatility back. Wow. 5 minute is a hammer. Yes, it's falling out of bed. Normally when the trading hours, I like to watch the, we're aiming down here for value. Sellers have it. So I was a little premature on that one, eh? There was my entry, and I about 5, 10, 15, 20 points I could have had out of that so far. But I'm happy to have a limited exposure, limited risk, $240 in 13 seconds. Do that all day, that's 70, 80,000 a year. You can see my position when I'm in. You can see the product that we're trading. And down here is the performance center with P&L. Unfortunately, I prefer to have this data open, so you can't adjust the size on these individual boxes, which is kind of a shame, but it is what it is. So far, we're 100% on the day. $240, 13 seconds. One trade, two contracts. They're pulling the volume area lower. Value is now down here at 19 by 95, and you remember the settlement is 1885. Well, they're just a hop, skip, and a jump, and they're going to be back down to settle, which is not an unusual state or occurrence at all. POC has fallen back down, switched across. So at the moment, they're trading value lower side. This could also just be a correction of overnight inventory, which was substantially long, and they're now bringing it back to 85. They're about close to settle. Wow. The ES is really falling out of bed. Oof. Sellers definitely have the ball here and are running with it. They're going to break the lows. There they go. There goes 85. They're past settle. They're back into value now. This is the value area from yesterday's regular trading hours. Market profile theory goes that if you trade into value and are accepted, there's a very good chance that you'll trade across the value area. Interesting to watch this flash back and forth between red and green when they, which is based on settlement, of course. Well, the book is substantially better. We got about 50 by 57, 72. Volumes are just running it pretty light, though. This is the first standard deviation. It's pretty obvious that I need to learn to let my winners run. There's my entry. There's my exit. Feeling pretty good about $240. And that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 points ago. Wow. That's the thing. I'm going to have to drop off here, as I mentioned, for this call. And I will unfortunately need to stay off because it's going to be rather lengthy. It's the end of our end of our quarter. So it's a revenue. I take care of revenue recognition, and forecasting for the company. So that's that. Ooh, looks like we might bottom out. Just could possibly round up. What they're going to do now is they're going to trade it up here and pull that value area lower. And pretty quick, the POC will come down again, I would think, because they're now down. They've eaten that string of singles up here, and they've taken out pretty much all these here. When they get into this, they should be able to come down through here into this 55 range someplace. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we are. I would reckon that there's going to be a test up here of the value area low, and then rejection down for at least 10 few ticks. But ooh, look at there. Didn't even blink an eye. Just straight through. Straight through. Through the volume. And the POC dropped, as did the value area low. So value is definitely building lower. They're now overlapping the lower as they pull that value area and POC down. Likely chance they'll trade across this low volume area and retest the value area high and VWAP. Well, unfortunately, I've got this darn meeting. If you continue to trade after I close the stream, I want to caution you to manage your risk. That's absolutely the most important thing to achieving a successful trading. Sorry, busy looking at the charts here. Not talking, talking like a babbling fool here. So, if you're going to continue to trade, trade safe, trade smart. Remember to manage your risk. The whole point of trading is how many instances you can do with your edge and become consistently profitable. It does you no good to blow your account out and you can't trade. The whole idea is trade, live to trade another day. I took $240 over here. Was premature on my profit taking, absolutely. But I have 240 bucks in 13 seconds. And I didn't re-enter because I was getting ready for this meeting and didn't take advantage of some of these things. But I'll be able to trade tomorrow, and I'm satisfied with $240 today. First day back, brand new year. And hopefully I got this stream working properly. Anybody that's having problems with or would like to comment about the quality of the video that they're seeing, hopefully it should be coming out in 1440p at 60 frames per second. So that should be sharp. Pretty high definition. If you have any problems or any questions, type them in the text and I'll do my best to get at them. If you'd like to know when I go live, I usually go live twice a day, once around the latter part of the Asian session and the London Open, and then again at the regular trading hours open like now. If you want to know when we're going to be going live, you can subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. I don't know if you can get I don't think you have to subscribe first, but at least hit the bell notification bell. And if you find value in what you're hearing here and seeing and think that it could be of some educational use for you in your trading journey, well, subscribe. That would be great. Hopefully we can develop a nice interactive community of like-minded traders with a common goal for consistent profitability. About all I can say at this time. It's 22:48 here, and my meeting's at 2300 hours. So I'm going to end the stream. Thanks very much for joining in and following along. Leave any comments that you might have below, and I will try to get back to all. Trade safe, trade smart, get your money. Don't stress about it. All the best, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.